Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh again. Today I'm going to talk about a really interesting topic because I know that, in everyone's life, there's that person that's just there out there to get you. Like, that's their only purpose, okay? And it's not really fun to learn from people like that, okay? So, why don't we pick things that genuinely don't discriminate? And let's learn from them. That's what we're doing today. We're going to talk about three things. Okay, I'm really excited. So, let's just jump in. The first one I'm going to talk about is death. Okay, no matter who you are, where you are, your financial status, your, I don't know, your age, the respect that you demand, death does not care. It doesn't care a dime about it. Okay, it doesn't care a penny about it. Alright? You have all these people doing crazy things like thinking of freezing their bodies to this precious thing called life. Okay? This precious thing that people are wasting so much of to figure out how to elongate it. And really, it's really funny because if you think about it, they're trying to freeze their life to extend it. Okay? All they're doing is going to be a frozen ice chunk doing nothing. It's not like you're even doing anything. So now you understand how precious life is. Some people are ready to freeze their bodies to save it. Okay? And yet death will come to them. Okay? God has put a very, very, very predestined thing to this. Okay? Also that it says in the Quran, okay, God says in scripture that, hey, I have each of you for an appointed time. Each of us have an appointment where you're going to come back to me, okay? You don't want to come back to me? And I think we should kind of like delve briefly into this. Why don't people want to die? Okay, I think there's two reasons. Number one, people haven't done enough in this world. And number two, because they've invested too much in this world. Okay? And these are two very problematic things. So let's discuss the first one. You haven't done enough. This is why a believer wouldn't want to die. It's like, I don't know, am I in the clear? Okay? Because after you die, there are only two places. There's heaven and hell. You can't there's no middle ground. And it's a win-win lose-lose situation. If you go to heaven, it's like this. You're gonna get paradise gardens with rivers flowing under them and honey, wine, and milk. Okay, rivers of those. And on top of that, you don't have to touch fire. Hell is just a lose lose situation. First off, you're not getting what people and actually everyone's born with. God grades you on potential. So, what everyone could have gotten, instead, you're getting fire that's black because it burnt itself of how hot it is. And guess what? You're its fuel. So in the end, it's just simply not worth it. Like, and then you look around at everything and you're like, nothing is worth it. We should just be praying day in and day out. And that's actually how it should be. But to keep our sanity, God has included minor distractions. For example, relationships. Okay? Just when you're feeling so down and everything about, oh my gosh, death's coming to us. And if we don't prepare for it, there's nothing you can do after you die, okay? And then when we snap out of it, we're like, okay, let's see, if mom's calling me. You kind of get distracted, to kind of ease the burden of knowledge. Okay, and what people are doing is they're basically going to invest in those minor distractions and make them major distractions until they make that their reality, and then death is going to come to them, and then they're going to be like, I didn't do enough. Now what? Like, now what? Okay, now what? What do you do then? Okay, when you get that sheet that says that you have cancer and you're dying in 6 months, at that point your book has been closed because now it's like you're about to die. Okay, so at that point you don't know what to do, and it's very important to learn from death. It's going to come. Nobody thinks about it because they know they're going to be driven insane, but that's the ostrich approach, where basically a tiger is chasing an ostrich, and because it just can't take the whole scene, it just digs a hole in the ground and puts its head in there. Why is the earth filled with ostriches? That's bad. Anyhow, the second one is that people invest too much on this earth. Okay, that was one perspective, but how people invest too much in the major distractions. Some people are simply, they're not even thinking about hell and heaven. They're just like, my business. What am I gonna do about it? Who's gonna look after it? They're not thinking about their real legacy. Who's gonna be their children? What are they carrying? It's like crazy. Okay, guys, death is coming to me. It's coming to you too. It might come to you today. It might come to you tomorrow. There is literally no point doing anything else. Okay, to keep your sanity, you don't invest, but you may engage in minor distractions. Don't make those your investments. It's that simple. Number two, we're going to be talking about something that I don't know if I invented and my big sister invented. I feel like it's for everyone. Obviously, it's for everyone. It's called the balance of the universe. Synonyms karma. Okay, what comes around goes around. So the balance of the universe gets everyone. It's like this: you are born with units of potential. Okay, we'll put on a grading system. Okay, those people that are super smart, they're gonna be graded on 100 scale potential. Okay, and people who are, those simple people who don't really understand situations much, they're really naive and innocent, we'll give them a 75-point scale. Okay, and what that means is simply that if they do 75% of the work of a 100-point scaler, they're still going to make it at 100 because that's how much their potential allowed them to. Yasser Qadi said a beautiful thing. God has given everyone enough potential to reach heaven. Okay? He hasn't given everyone enough potential to start a business or to ace school or to do a lot of things that people, look up, get impressed by. But he has given everybody the potential. Every human created was given the potential to reach heaven. Okay? And this is the way the balance of the universe works. If you were born with a 100-point scale, okay, of potential, and you didn't burn, I'm going to put this the way potential energy is put. If you didn't use all of your potential energy in this world and you only used 70, in the next world, it will literally be burned, like with fire, as I mentioned before, the fire that's so black that it burned itself. Okay, you will be burned until you've reached that potential and you've exhausted all your potential energy. Then you can then they'll let you, go to heaven. But guys, don't underestimate that dip in the fire, okay? Can we just use our potential? I'm getting so mad at myself because I know I have a lot of problems in life because of my anger issues. And I'm like, why can't I just fix them? Is it worth fire? No, it's not, okay? So yeah, we have to learn about the balance of the universe. If you underwork in this life, you will have to be extraneously punished in the next life. That's just the way it is. There's no point thinking about it as harsh or whatever because it's going to happen to you regardless of what you think. Nobody cares if you think it's harsh. It will happen anyways. There's only one thing you can do about it, and that's fix your problems by using the control you have on yourself. Okay? And on that note, we're going to get into the last thing, which is hell. Hell does not discriminate whether you're white, black, Caucasian, Asian, whatever. This is a door that remains open to you till the day you die. So is heaven. But it's much more probable that you're going to go to hell than go to heaven if you're not consciously thinking about it. Let me tell you something. The thing about going to heaven and not going to hell, more like avoiding hell, it's all about restriction. Okay? Islam means submission. People think Islam is hard work. It is hard work, okay? But it's more about not doing things than doing things, okay? If you don't do yada yada yada, then you will succeed. If you do yada yada yada, you will also succeed. But you can't have the hard workingness without the restraint and restrictions and still go to hell. You can have that, you can have this person that drinks every day, but they're working so hard. They can still go to hell because of course drinking is a major sin. Okay? But if you have someone who restrains themselves from drinking and does the bare minimum of work required to be a Muslim, they can still go to heaven. So, guys, these three things, hell, balance of the universe, and death, they all are intertwined. and we are the only ones who can control them for ourselves. And I'm just going to mention a really quick thought. God says that if you respect your parents, then He will give you 10 extra years of life, essentially delaying your death by 10 years. How important do you think the parent relationship is? Have a nice day.